Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Royal Palm Beach Stars Board Meeting for March 20th, 2019. We're the official youth basketball provider for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. At this time, we will take an attendance starting to my left.
Royal Palm Beach Liaison, Cheryl Sawyer.
Robin Crawford, Treasurer.
Claudia Gooden, President.
Sylvan Smith, Program Director.
Xavier Smith, Secretary.
Thank you. With all being present, we do meet quorum for today. Today's date is March 20th, 2019. I'd ask everybody to review the agenda to see if there are any changes that need to be made. God bless you.
Get it over me.
This line should have been omitted in adjournment, the last board workshop line. That should be crossed out. And for the board workshop, we're going to move it to Fridays. So we can have everyone in attendance. So that date, give me one moment. So that date would reflect as April 12th, where we will meet and update each other of the progress that we are doing for this organization. So if you can please write in April 12th as the board workshop meeting. For 7:30.
Rec Center.
At the rec center. All right, are there any other changes that need to be made?
I make a motion to accept the agenda.
Thank you,
I'll second that.
thank you. All right, and in front of you, you have the January minutes and February minutes for review.
I need to be excused.
Okay, excusing Robin for a minute.
If you don't mind, what did you just say? Did you say review minutes?
Review minutes for January and February.
Just want to be sure because I'm taking my notes as well.
Okay. Just for the January minutes, it was February. You have acting, your secretary that time, for February.
Right. Which one, the January minutes?
The February.
Okay, the February minutes. What did you say about the February minutes?
Oh, just a correction right here. Number 5, line 5.
Xavier.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know where we are, we're still just going over the minutes, so we just wait.
All right.
We're gonna wait for Robin to make a motion based off of how we do our minutes.
Format is proper.
Hmm?
Format is proper.
I know.
All
Would
right.
you like
So
to make a motion, Robin?
you're the last one in.
All right. I make a motion to accept both the January and February minutes.
And I'll second that.
Thank you very much. On to our board report. I'll start with our treasurer, Robin.
It'll be real short. I've got the quarterly for the fourth quarter, but I've misplaced them, so I apologize. I'll get them to you shortly.
Okay. And do we have January or
Nope.
February?
No, February. We're up to January. We turned in.
We turned in
January.
January. So we just need February.
What was that? No, January's turned in, what was
Yeah,
that,
we-
February what?
February, we're
needs-
missing the February month.
Monthly?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, will that conclude?
That's
That
Yeah.
conclude? Okay. Mr. Smith, do you have a report for us? You can say no report, that's fine.
No report.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, there's two Mr. Smith. You will be Mr. Smith, he'll be Savine, to help us make the distinction. Sorry about that. I'll do my report, and then we can move on to program and a report from Coach Savon. I wanted to tender the background check and concussion check and coach's certifications check. Our notary didn't come in,
Okay,
so I was waiting all day.
but they're all completed for everyone that's participating?
We're completed. We're up to date.
Good.
We're
okay.
glad to report we don't have any issues behind the scene. No murderers or any other criminally deemed activities behind the scenes. So I'm thankful for that. We can all go forward.
You
in-
could
in proper
email
manner.
those to me when you get them notarized. That'll
Yeah,
be
she said
fine.
she got me tomorrow morning. So
Okay, good.
I was like, okay, thank you. But that's the last thing that we have. All of our new coaches, who I like to thank at this time, Chad, and he has been introduced to our board before we sat as a member of the shoot program. He's come on board to coach the high school team, and also coach Jared Jones. He is the assistant coach at Royal Palm Beach High School, and he's agreed to come on board to assist with the high school team. And not only is he sitting as our secretary, Mr. Xavier Smith has come on board to assist with coaching as well. And I see him going all age groups at this time. So very thankful for that. In terms of the roster, because the roster will come as well, I have everything all nice and packaged. We just have one coach, which is the middle school coach. He was sick last week, so we need to give him a chance to tender his roster and then give him an update on who's actually registered and going forward and who's not. So
Okay.
I want to give him a chance to turn in his stuff. If we could complete that tomorrow, I'll pop by
Okay.
to the rec and deliver it.
That would be good.
Okay. But I'm happy to see that we have over what it looks like 4 teams on record. So the only thing that would change at this moment if we have any payment issues from parents. But as far as the children's participation, they are all excited and ready to go.
Could you give me the ages or grades?
We have a
Just
mix.
to jump in,
Mhm.
we don't actually have 4 teams. We combine in teams, so middle school and high school.
Mhm. So-
So that's, we're actually there's gonna be 7th graders playing with 8th graders and upwards.
Yeah. So from what we saw in terms of grade range is from grade 6 to grade 11. So we'll hope after we get the middle school information, then we could tender in our rosters. And as everybody knows, Savon's Academy, aka Royal Palm Beach Stars, we allow our players to move up and down in the organization. So once we see that a player is excelling at their grade level, we always invite them up, or we ask the team if they're willing to play up in meaning up in terms of grade in another tournament in order to see better competition. So we've always been flexible in that area. And with the last meeting we had, the office supplies of up to 200, we'll start using that. We need to organize the coaches binder and get ready for tournament play, which requires our coaches to have a binder with them containing the information of each player. And that will conclude my report. All right, Mr. Smith. On to
Okay, I don't really have much to report because you have the rosters and stuff taken care of. At least that give us a start in the right direction of getting our season started. The only thing I want to address is fundraiser coming up. We have fundraising, this weekend, Saturday. What's Saturday's date? And that's in Laxahatchee.
March
off of
23rd.
Orange Grove Boulevard. What date is that?
That's March 23rd
Yes, so March
and
23rd.
24th, both
Publix.
days?
No, just Saturday.
Okay,
So March 23rd,
okay.
Publix fundraiser. And just that I'm working on the Applebee's fundraiser, the Flapjack fundraiser.
Okay.
And spoke to I text Miss Andrea, haven't heard back from her yet, to try and do this April 27th.
Okay, so tentative date. April 27th.
And to conclude my report, I just would like to say, our season haven't really got started yet, and I believe I mentioned that in the last board meeting, February's board meeting, that in order for the village to, everyone in the village to work together, I think it's a better idea to take our time and work together with the high schools and the middle schools to where we can look forward to like a farm system every year and make the community schools stronger and more competitive. So that's the delay for our season. That's causing the delay for our season.
I understand.
Most of the good players around this time, they're actually still playing because they moved on to either the district championships, state championships. So it's sometimes a little difficult to say, hey, my roster is finalized. But I'm glad to see that many kids in the gym at this time showing interest, stating that they want to go forward with the travel program. Also, for the uniform update, you're still sponsoring the,
Yes, we're working
That-
on sponsorship, so I don't think we will be purchasing any uniforms. I sponsored one team. Sponsored high school.
all right. So at this time, that brings us to the program. We covered new and continuing old business and items due to the village. That does include the fourth quarter financials and February monthly report, along with the package that I'll tender tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow,
Yeah.
okay, very good.
Can you repeat that?
The quarterlies.
Oh, I already wrote it down.
Oh, okay, yeah, quarterlies and February monthly report, financial report. And the rosters,
Oh, I didn't write that. So rosters,
yeah, but I need to get with Coach Alex to find out.
okay, rosters for middle school.
In the rosters, they will include their resident addresses.
Yes.
Okay,
What
very
they're listed as,
Okay, very good.
so we can calculate that fee. Or the taxes, the taxes, right?
Right, the
difference?
non-resident.
Yeah.
fee.
Okay.
Now, what will you be turning into, Cheryl? As far as the background checks?
Background check, concussion check, and coach's certification, I believe, were the three. this time, we'll turn to our village liaison.
I was curious if any progress was being made with gym usage
Oh,
at
shoot.
Crestwood Middle School.
Let me enter that in. I missed that in
Thank
my
you.
report. So, I just received a passing, comment from the vice principal of Crestwood that he received back from the board that things were a go for Friday nights. We did request Tuesday and Thursday. I have not received an official, confirmation for Tuesday and Thursday. There was an incident at the school when I went to go visit it where we couldn't discuss that at this time. But those were the dates that we requested, Tuesday and Thursdays and Fridays. Also too, we requested about special events. If there's any availability at that school for special events, in which he stated Saturdays are a clearer day in terms of planning. I proposed a 3-on-3 tournament or possibly a 5-on-5 tournament on their outdoor courts. And he said that is something that they're willing to work with us. So just wanted to see what type of availability, so we didn't have to plan in vain, only to know that, it's just not available at all.
Right, right. Does that involve an interlocal agreement?
The fundraising events, I would have to get with you and find out what he's told us, because it requires extra staff, because it's not during the regular school operation. It would involve a cost. So I asked him if he can send that over, and let's find out how does that work with a official provider. But at least I understand what we're working with, so we can go forward and plan accordingly.
So at this time, can I request a Friday permit from Ms. Richardson?
I don't know how it works on your end, but I was just told that our Fridays that we
Yes.
regularly have,
Because I want you all to have that in hand.
Yes, we want Fridays, so you can go ahead and
Yeah.
request the permit for us to have Fridays so we can
Well,
start.
that had
practicing.
already been submitted, but what we need is in return from them, something in writing that says that we have permission to use it on Friday nights, because we wouldn't want to go in there and use the facility without a written permission.
Right, they said it did fall, the Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays do fall underneath the agreement. So that was good news. Special events, no.
Okay.
That's,
And what's approved up to this point is Friday nights, and they're working on Tuesday and Thursday.
that's the only approval that I know of.
Okay, then I will go ahead and ask for the paperwork to be submitted to the village
Okay.
from Crestwood Middle School for Friday night usage. And what's the time?
The time is 6:30 to 8:45.
And if you all could get in earlier, do you want to get in earlier?
No,
No.
he said no, it won't be possible. They
Time
have
would
at
be what?
6:30 to 8:45.
6:30 and not 6? Can you see if you can get it for 6, Cheryl?
Was it 6
See
in the
if Nancy-
past?
Yeah, I believe it's 6 to 8:30, not 8:45.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll
Well,
follow up.
if they tell us no for the 6, then we'll be prepared for 6:30.
Now, Cheryl, you said you had gotten confirmation with them, right? To give us the Fridays, right? That's what you had said when we.
No,
had
she had
spoken.
requested it.
You didn't.
Claudine said she
No,
got
but did you? Because I thought we had spoken. You said because remember we submitted it.
I received verbal, but I don't
Verbal.
act
Oh, it
on
was
verbal.
verbal.
I need
Yeah,
Yeah,
I only
that's what I-
received verbal
something
as
in
well.
writing, yeah.
Yeah. So what we discussed was was Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I received a verbal request that everything's a go. So I'm hoping it's including Tuesdays and Thursdays. But we really need the Fridays, very much so. This season is gonna be a rainy season, which is why.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, which is why that Tuesday and Thursday is going to be critical, because we usually did outside courts, and with this season being that rainy, that's going to hinder us.
If you already received a verbal from them for Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, then I'll go ahead and put the request in for that documentation
Okay,
and see what they say.
all right, that'd be awesome.
But can we make sure we secure Fridays first, just to get that out the way, being that day?
And I'll add into the email that we don't want to delay Fridays waiting for Tuesday and Thursday approval.
Yeah, because we need to get in there like this Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when I get that, I will forward it to you, Savan.
Okay.
Okay. This is already Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, Godspeed.
Okay. I certainly would like to figure out a way to simplify that process and expedite it so that it doesn't create so much lag time between submission of the forms to Crestwood Middle School and receiving permission to use the facility. It seems as if there is a long delay in the process consistently.
Yeah, it would be nice because we've been with the village for over 10 years, and it would be nice if we're going into our season just knowing that, hey, Friday nights or whichever days that is approved, is we just know it's locked in.
For instance, I'm thinking that Royal Palm Beach Recreational Ball, which we all know by that provider agreement, takes priority in who gets the facilities. Recreation gets priority over competitive. But I'm thinking recreational ball ended the middle of February, and we're now in the middle of March, and we still don't have the permit, written permission. And I'm not sure exactly where that issue is occurring. I know that their staff has to approve it, then they have to send it to another location with the school district.
Yes, I was
To
told
have
that
it
it was a
approved?
two-step process. That
Right.
first the school would have to check their
Calendar.
contracts and then they would send it forward, so.
Right, so I'm
You know,
not
when
sure
you're dealing with
where,
the school board, I don't know if things will happen in a timely fashion, so, but it would be good to know, so we can act accordingly. We could put it in I don't know if it's due to a submission issue or find out when, not submission issue, I know you're on point with that, but maybe it needs to be done when rec ball information goes in, maybe as early as that.
which would be late spring, early summer for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
That's a possibility,
So you can just do it all at one time.
so that there isn't that lag time in between. That's a good idea.
Also, Cheryl, I'd like to mention, in the past 2 years, we've used Saturdays, which I believe you know. Right now, we've just been doing Fridays, but we've had Saturdays approved from 3 to 5:30. So we haven't really been going on Saturdays. So just wanted to, mention that. We
Did
haven't
you
been
all want to do that this Saturday?
No, let's start that next week.
Okay. Let's see what the date on that is. What we'll probably do is post that so that folks get a little advance notice that the gym will be occupied during those times.
Is that 3 to 5 p.m.?
5:30.
5:30?
So that would be March 29, a Friday.
Oh, did I say 5? Yeah, it's 5 p.m.
3 to 5, right?
Yeah, 5 p.m., Cheryl, not 5:30.
Oh, I'm wrong on the date too. Saturday would be the 30th. Saturday, March 30th, and the times again, sorry.
3 to 5 p.m.
3 to 5 p.m.
I also just want to give a shout out or thank Mr. Pasquarello for explaining to me how it works. He just took the time out. I was there for my children, but he took the time out and wanted to know more about us as an organization, and just find out what we do and what we want to do. And I told him I'd like to have our ability to fundraise with our schools. I signed up our organization with the Junior MBA. So I would like to host a camp here or get activities that fall underneath the Junior MBA. And I really would like to have Crestwood be one of the gyms that we name in our activities. So he was understanding of that, and hopefully we'll move forward.
And he did accept the paperwork that
Yes,
you picked up at the last visit?
yes, he did.
Okay.
Question, how do you spell his name?
That is
It's okay, I got it.
PASQUARIELLO, which is why I had that long silent beforehand, because I was not going to get it on my own.
But I got the PAS right.
PAS, yes. Bet you didn't know there was a Q in there. But yeah, he was very helpful, letting me know and understand the process of how, where he has to go and do what he has to do. So he was very diligent in his efforts.
And just to be sure, he's the principal of Crestwood,
Vice principal.
vice principal.
All right.
Is that assistant? Do they go by vice?
Is it? Assistant principal?
principal.
I'm sorry. Assistant,
Yeah, it's
sorry, Mr. P. Trying to step you up there. Assistant. Hey, I seen this guy in action. He's awesome. I don't know how he does everything that he does. So, and with kids, and you guys know how that goes. So, I give him his props. I've seen him from afar, and I don't know if he knows I'm watching, but good job, Mr. P. You handle a lot. Oh man. All right. So Miss Cheryl, any other items?
I was going to mention some upcoming documentation, and I haven't reviewed this to see if it's already in the packet, so you'll have to let me know if you've worked on it.
Okay.
May 15 is the actual due date on the annual report, so there's time for that.
Mm-hmm.
A copy of the current tax return. That is Form 990, the
Yeah.
current tax return. That's due May 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got that right here, though.
And you
Yeah.
all are already on the CPA review, due May the 15th. We've already discussed this other, and we discussed rosters.
Yep.
So
So we'll be
that will bring us up to date.
yes. All right.
So May 15th, annual report, copy of tax return, and CPA review. Those three things?
Correct. And that tax return is Form 990.
Form 990. Well, I believe he turned everything in right there that Robin had.
Oh, we got 8879. Yeah, I got the 990.
Good.
Did we get an email
I
copy
just
of
got
that?
a
Or
copy of it.
I
Is
just
that the
picked it
only
up.
copy,
I'm
though?
not sure if,
Yeah,
is he,
so I
do you
gotta
want to?
scan it.
Yeah, we gotta scan it in. Actually, I could bring that tomorrow as well.
That's fine.
All right.
so do you get those things now, or are you bringing it tomorrow? You bringing everything tomorrow?
Yeah, I have to go by there anyway, so I'm gonna
Okay.
bring it.
Because we don't want to be behind no more.
No, we don't. My pack was ready to go, but when I saw the notary, I was like, I can't sign. All right, so at this time, that brings us to our summary of approvals. We don't have anything to approve for today, outside of the normal monthly pay financial activities. So with notice from our liaison, our next two board meetings will occur at the rec center. We won't be here to give our report. Our next board meeting will be April 17th at 7 p.m. Are we gonna do 7 p.m. at the rec center?
Whatever time works for you all best.
7 work?
Yeah, I think Robin 7 is fine. 7 is fine.
7 p.m.
Okay,
And I will put up notices in advance because this is a public meeting, so if anyone did have a concern or a question, they're free to come to any of the board meetings. But just recognize that it won't be at its usual location, as Claudine mentioned here on those 2 dates.
And
that's
those 2 dates are April and June.
April 17th and May 15th. Is
Is it
April
May?
and May, or is it June?
I think it's June.
I would have to confirm that myself.
Okay,
I think May is here. Per your email, I believe you sent me June, and then you said April.
Okay,
So I believe May is here.
I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah. Well, my memory serves
You're
me
pretty,
right.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty certain on it.
and while you guys are remembering, I'm looking at my email.
I know I have it noted on my calendar.
I remember it's not May. May we're here because May is my month. My birthday month.
Okay, there you go. So the email reads April 17th, meeting will be at the rec center, okay? Let me see. Right, so, correction. April 17th at the rec center. May's workshop will be here. And then June 19th, board meeting. June 19th board meeting will be moved to the recreation
Rec
center.
center.
You just said workshop.
Yeah, that's what I said,
Meeting.
my bad, board meeting. All right,
7 p.m. both nights.
See, so my memory serves me right.
yeah, that's because that was your birthday month, that's the
No,
only reason.
I just remember because I remember I sent it out right away. And I remember it, and it's my month, like you said. That'll help.
All right. So with all being said, this will conclude our meeting for tonight. Meeting is adjourned.